Chapter 9 Composite Risk Management. Principal basis of composite risk management, accident prevention. Background: you are an American soldier. You are the most precious resource, sons and daughters of our nation. Without the Army, you cannot find the reason to exist for your existence, which is fight and win the nation's war. Remember the soldier's creed. You stand ready to deploy and engage our enemies of the United States of America in close combat. Doing so may cost your life, the life of your buddies. Freedom is not free. The price. This is serious business. The Army takes a very serious responsibility to make sure that no one lost their life needlessly. Their soldiering is tough. Soldiering is tough, demanding risk, and the means that we will take risk and don't shrink the responsibility. The Army trains, equips, and organizes soldiers to ensure, but each soldier, regardless of the rank and face, in making decisions, you may challenge to make smart decisions about risking decisions that will not affect only yourself, but your team, your family, your friends. Composite risk management does not apply to the risk and comment. It applies to everything you do, on duty or off duty. Anything that takes a soldier out of the fight, the risk that may be managed, whether by a sniper bullet or poor decision of drinking and driving. This is about preserving and Army's ability to fight. Composite risk management will help you to make a smart risk decision, reduce the possibilities of becoming lost. It may save your life or lives of your buddy. The composite risk management in the Army decision process, identifying assessing hard hazards, developing implementation risk mitigation actions, control risk action across the full spectrum. Army mission functions, operation activity. The composite risk management decision making process used to identify and eliminate the reduced risk associated with all hazards having potential to injure, kill personnel, damage, destroy equipment, otherwise impact mission effective. Composite risk management addresses both technical accident and risks. Primary precise composite risk management is that it does not matter whether or how or loss occurs, the result is the same. Decreases combat power. The mission effectiveness FM 519 is the Army's doctrine manual for risk management. Accidents can continue to take toll on soldiers operate, supporting offense, defensive stability, civil support operations. Soldiers must there be prepared to ability composite risk management processing during all types mission to reduce accidental potential. Composite risk management process. The composite risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, controlling hazards to protect the force. The 5 steps of composite risk management represent logistics systematic throughout the process. The user can apply to analyze any event of the situation which apply to the composite risk management can identify control of these hazards and risks that might threaten success. The steps are covered in sub-points 3. 3. The composite risk management is continuous applicability in any situation, environment, on or off duty. The figure 911 illustrates the composite risk management process. There are 5 principles of composite risk management apply to the composite risk management. Every mission activity, both on duty and off duty, the most means of combat missions, weekend delegated parties. Make right risk decision right level. If they cannot control the risk, elevate the decision up the chain of command. Off the duty, if you are not comfortable with the risk or doing the same, accept no unnecessary risk. Do not disable your or kill yourself doing something needless or stupid, except for the dire circumstances. Chaining enemy bunker with no helmet, no weapon, no plan is probably a foolish move. Perhaps the way to control the hazard, reduce the risk, will riding a motorcycle with a helmet, confusing and drinking and driving. There are unnecessary risks involved. Applying the composite risk management cyclically, continuously in the last step of the process reveals how effective the composite risk management has been applied. As the mission effective progress of the composite risk management apply the continuous identify and control new residual hazards. Do not be averse. In some cases, changing a bunker without any ammo may be necessary to prevent worse things from happening. We may have to risk our lives so that the other may live. So, soldiers is the business of danger, and we must be smart about things that we can do. But when we comes down to it, we go back together to the soldier's creed. We will always place our mission first. We will never accept defeat, and we will never quit. The assess the hazard across the line to develop control makes divisions into independent controls, management, supervising, elevating, and back into identifying the hazards to assess them. 5 steps of composite risk management. Identify hazards. Step 1 in composite risk management process to identify the hazard. A hazard is a condition with potential cause to injury, illness, death, or personal damage, or the loss of equipment, property, missing degraduation. Hazard may be all situation event as the result of degradation, capabilities, mission failure. Hazards exist in the environmental combination, operation stability, operation basis of support, operation training, garrison activities, off duties, factors of missions, enemy terrain, weather, troops, support, available time, available civil consideration of MTTTC serves as a standard format identification hazards of off and on duty. Assess the hazards. Step 2 is assess the hazards to determine the cumulative effect of the planned activity. The hazard assess of the risk assigned to determine the probability, severity, adverse of the impact of the event of the occurrence that can have considered the risk or likelihood of the event of incident adversely influencing the mission capabilities, people, equipment, property. The hazard assessment process. Ask the question: what are the odds of ability of something going wrong? What is the effective severity of the incident if it does not occur? Exercising judgment on how to eliminate the reduce of hazard unless in the overall risk of inheriting the risk assignment. The step concludes the risk assessment that describes the impact of the combined hazard. The result of the assessment produces the initial risk assessment of the identified hazard expressed in low terms, extremely high and moderate and low, and determines standardization application risk assessment matrix. See figure 992. Severity: catastrophic 1, critical 2, marginal 3, negligible 4. Frequently A, B, unlikely B, C, occasionally D, seldom, and E, unlikely. Following catastrophic, you have extremely high frequency, likely to be extremely high probability. The occasional is a high risk. Seldom is also high, and unlikely moderate. Critical level 2 risk assessment matrix: extremely high, frequently likely high, occasional high, seldom moderate management risk, unlikely low, critical low, unlikely. Marginal 3 frequent risk assessment is high. The likability is moderate. The occasional is moderate. The seldom is low and unlikely. Knowledgeable 4 risk assessment matrix 4 part of given a 4. The moderate is frequently, low for likely, occasional, and seldom, and unlikely. Hazardous assessment pressure measures assess each hazard on the probability of the event of the occurrence, probability, likelihood of an event. If this is your event, estimate given the information you know what others are experiencing. The probability levels estimated each hazard may be mission on a course of action. A course of action COA or frequency similar event. The purpose of the composite risk management: there are 5 levels of probability: frequently, likely, occasional, and seldom. Frequently occurs very often, known to happen regularly. If an illustration gives 500, so the exposure to the hazard, except that it will definitely happen to someone. Examples of the frequently occurrence of the vehicle rollovers, rear and end collisions, heat injury during the battlation, physical training, running with the hot water, and not accumulated soldiers. Likely occurs several times. Common occurrence given the 100,000 exposure without proper look controls, assessment, determination, potential hazards, nature will occur at the same point. Example of the improvised explosive devices, wire strikes of the aircraft, control flight of the train, and negligent discharge. Occasionally occurs periodically, but is not uncommon. The soldier may or may not get the deployment with or without happening. Examples include unexploded ordnance at UXOs or fratricized. Seldom remotely possible, could occur at some time. Usually several things must go wrong for it to happen. Examples could include heat-related death or electrocution. Unlikely can assume they'll not occur, but impossible it seems that might include detonation containerized ammunition during the transportation. Estimated the expected result, the severity of an occurrence, the severity of expressed in the terms of the degree in which the accident influenced the combat power, mission capability, readiness, the degree, severe, estimated each hazard is based on the knowledge of the result. The similar past event and address of the following 4 levels of the risk assessment worksheet: the catastrophic, complete mission failure, for loss of ability to accomplish the mission, death or permanent total disability, loss of mission, critical system of equipment, major property of facility damage, serious environmental damage, mission critical critical security failure, unaccepted collateral damage, critical severely degreed mission, critical severely degreed mission capability of unreadiness, permanent partial disability, temporary total disability exceeding 3 or more months, extensive major damage to equipment and systems, significant damage to property or the environment, security failure, and significant collateral. Marginal degraded mission capability of unit readiness. Minor degree of equipment and system property of environment loss due to injury, illness not exceeding 3 months. Minor damage to the prior property environment. Negligible, little or no adverse impact of the mission and capability. First aid, minor medical, minor treatment. Slight equipment system damage, fully functional and serviceable. Little or no property or environment and damage. Determine level of risk. Use of standard risk assessment matrix probability severity for index hazards are converted in specified list level of risk. The master provides the assessment probability severity expressed in terms of standard level of risk assessment and the estimate and not as absolute, but it may not be indicative relative danger for the given opportunity, activity, or event. The level of the risk listed at lower left-hand corner of the matrix. All accepted residual risk must be approved by the appropriate level of command. Extreme highly high risk. Loss of ability to accomplish the mission rating implies that the risk associated with the mission activity or the event may be severe consequence beyond associated with the specific operation or event. The decision continue will be weighed carefully against the potential gain of the achieved on the confrontation of action. The high risk significant significant risk is high risk significant degraduation of military capabilities, terms of required mission standards, inability to accomplish all parts missions, inability complete missions. The standard hazard occurs during the mission applies to hazard events. The serious consequences will occur. The decision continually must be weighed carefully against the potential gain to achieve the continue with the COA. The moderate risk suspected degraded mission capabilities in terms of required standard will reduce the mission capability if hazards occur during the mission as hazard event occurs in or slightly impact the mission results in minor injury or loss will not affect the overall readiness. Low risk expected losses have little or no impact accomplishing mission. Injury damage, illness are not expected or may be minor or have no long-term impact or effect. 3. Developing control or making decisions. Step 3 is developing control making risk decisions. Step 2, hazard with assess initial risk with determine in step of the control measures develop implied hazard, reassess and determine a residual risk. The risk of the decision are always based on the residual risk. The process of developing and applying controls, reassessing the risk continues to be unacceptable and the controls of reassessing the risk continues until an acceptable level of risk is achieved, until all risks are reduced to the level where the benefits outweigh the potential costs. The overall mission of the activity risk of the level is determined by the single highest residual risk. Consider the individual residual risks associated with each of the hard hazards may be low and considered collectively judgment and dictate evaluating overall risk above the single residual risk. Leaders must use the risk against them performing the operation. Unnecessary risk can be endangered mission and accomplishment of soldier to unnecessary risk accidents and injuries. Risk decisions are made at the level corresponding to the degree of risk. For example, extremely high risk acceptance and denial risk are made at the general officer. High risk decision by a brigade commander or first 06. Moderate risk decision battalion commander or first 05. Low risk decision commander leader of executional level. The commander may elect to have some decisions made on the lower level in the management. Implement controls. Step 4. The implement controls established for the result of the steps of 1 to 3, including the steps of leader action. Reduce, eliminate hazard controls may be implemented substantially for the writing of the standard operating procedure condensed from the short safety briefing. Supervising elevated. Step 5 of the composite risk management is means of which ensure the risk is implemented, enforced, and standard, and provides the meaning of validating adequacy, selecting control measures Uh, Selecting control measures, subjective, objective, desired outcomes. List of other steps of the composite risk management process. Supervision, evaluation, most occurred throughout all phases of the operation, including the continuous process provided by the ability to identify weaknesses, make changes, adjustments to control based on the performance of the change, situation, conditions, and events. Supervision and senses beyond ensuring the people that expect of them. Evaluation includes the constant monitoring during the operation, following up at the part of the after reviews to ensure all that went in according to plan. Supervision evaluation during and after the operation aids making adjustments to accommodate unforeseen issues and cooperating lessons learned for the future use. The composite risk tracking documentation. When time and situation allow, the Army Standard Composite Risk Management Worksheet, DA Form 7566, Composite Risk Management Worksheet, and an electronic version is used in the composite risk management process. In addition, providing Army standards continuous with the worksheet and preferences a command repository, composite risk management application training leaders, soldiers, individual to think the terms of 5 steps of the composite risk management process. Instructions for completing the DA Form 7566 are available in Field Manual 519 and GTA 2108 and 001 Composite Risk Quick Reference Booklet. Composite risk and the individual soldier. The soldier primarily in the composite risk to support the commanders of the leaders in identifying the reported hazards, and additional soldiers must be reduced and eliminated hazards with an ability of the authority. Examples: telling another soldier to put on their seatbelt, fasten the chin strap of the helmet is taking a simple step to reduce and eliminate the hazards. In many cases, soldiers face the more demanding situation with the soldiers taking the force at 2 act at 1, and the tough risk decision. Practicing composite risk management every day will prepare them for the difficult decision. Composite risk management on and off duty. Composite risk management life skill that does not stop at the end of the duty but carries on over the off-duty activities. Both be your brother's keeper. Use the buddy system during all missions activities that are off in duty. Live by the warriors' ethos, soldiers' creed, and Army values. Apply the composite risk management to your daily operation. Identify your areas of highly risk implemented controls to reduce the risk. Know your enemy, know your equipment, know your environment, and follow the tactics, techniques, procedures. Do not compromise the standards. That's Chapter 9.